Bonjour, bienvenue dans un autre épisode de Petite France. That was me saying hello, welcome to another episode of Little France. I don't know if I pronounced it correctly or if I said it correctly. Well, just Google translate. Anyway, nevertheless, I've tried my very best, guys. Here we are going for episode number 3. It's been a longer time than I was supposed to, and I mean for releasing this new episode, but the time is not my friend, and also the mood. I had a bad mood lately, not that very inspirational, but now I'm back, and I want to show you a little transportation hub, I want to call it, because you guys also mentioned in previous episodes that we need to have a little hub, a big hub or a little hub, depends, near the train station, because people are coming here, are getting out of the train, and then they have to go somewhere else within the city. So either they take the bus, the tram, or the metros. Well, we have some metro. I added some metro stations near the train station that I built in episode number 1. Well, actually it was like in episode number 0 before, which was not shown how I build a train station. But I said to go for something on the left side of the train station, because guys, if I'm going to show you on Google Earth, here on the left side of the train station, we also have a little bit more modern side, I guess. At least that's what I think it is. And I said to myself, I added here not a modern one, but on this side it is a modern one. If you'll see it in a bit in the game. In the time lapse. So I wanted to go for a bus hub. Here there are some buses stopping by a parking area as well. I don't see the trams. I don't know if the trams are very close nearby. I haven't did my research. You can also help with this. But I said to myself, go for something here like a transportation hub with buses and trams from my side. Also, there will be a metro station here. I also added one here or two. Well, it's one station and another one here, which this one can be a common one, maybe even with this one. People, when they go down, they can choose where to go or where to get out from the metro station. So that's what I wanted to do. This time I didn't want to go for anything that is accurate or is like that in Paris or near the train station. I just had the idea of doing a transportation hub, so not really something copied entirely. Moving back here, this is the other, let's say, the old train station, or an old part of the train station. I've added here like a little overpass for people to cross from another place to another above the street, of course. They can, those who take the train can go through the building itself. At this point I have invisible pathways inside, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't work because the train station is not yet working. If you're wondering why haven't I already did the entire rail yard, well, that's because I was waiting for Ronix to post his new work. He was been working at new train tracks and Revo for some new bridges for some time now, and I was like, hopefully they will be released pretty soon, and they kinda did few days ago, 2 days ago, I guess. So in the next episode I will be able to go for the the rail yard, which I can't wait. I'm curious to see how it will looks like. I will try to copy as much as I can from the Paris train station. Here, I don't know, I wanted to go for some lion statues. I feel like they should be there placed. Don't ask why, because that's what I felt. I like to see statues when I see an old building or when I see old architecture. I feel like there should also be a statue nearby. I don't know why. That's how things are really in Europe most of the times. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I've been using a lot of procedural object textures here, the ones that you saw me plopping down where I plopped now the benches. I also made some of them look dirty, which will be posted on my Patreon account for those who are supporting me, show support for me on Patreon. I'm going to release some textures and other stuff only for them, not going to release them anywhere else. So pretty soon, I think by now I already released them, hopefully, if I didn't forget. And that should be it about this this area. Also, I went for some details like trees, fallen trees with fallen leaves, and what else you can find near train station, like benches, some old phone booths, stuff like this. I'm using my imagination as well, not only Google Maps or pictures from France. I'm going very soon, after I will do the entire rail yard, I'm going to look a lot over other cities like Rennes, Lyon, Strasbourg, Bordeaux, Rouen. You guys name them, and I'm going to have a look on Google Earth to see if I can use any of those for my little friends here. Now I'm working at the transportation hub itself. It was about time to do so. I'm using here some roads where I will add some decals, asphalt decals over it, and some lines, and then I will transform those roads into invisible roads in order to make them look smoother and nicer. I prefer to go in some of the cases with these kind of roads, custom roads, let's call them, roads that are being made while I'm in the game, not something that you can find on the workshop. Okay, as you can see on the left side is the after cinematic. A bus already comes there. I'm using Revo's buses. They are called they're from Lyon, if I'm not mistaken, and they look pretty damn good. I don't know how accurate they are when it comes to I don't want to say Paris. I don't know even why I'm saying Paris, because I'm trying to inspire from France and not only Paris. So they should kind of fit for this city as well. And for the tram tracks, I've been using Geron's tram tracks because they look way much better. Even though Class released some really nice tram tracks, they all have fences around them, and I couldn't use them here. So maybe for another project here in the city I will be able to use those too. Now that you can see what I'm doing, the overpass and all those passages that will take people from the train station, from the modern train station down here to the hub transportation. I've been using I don't know how to call these. These are made for planes. You know, when you have to go from the airport to the plane itself, well, you go through a passage like this. It's made by Vasimir, or I hope I pronounce his name correctly. And I've been using them here too, only that I'm transforming them in procedural objects in order to rescale them. I made them quite bigger because within these passages, let's call them, I've been adding some pathways, and then I turn those pathways into invisible pathways so you cannot see those. And people really are using them. You will see them in some of the cinematics. People are using them, getting out from there or inside. And I was pretty damn happy, because at this point we don't have a big population here in the city. And I don't know, people are coming and taking the buses and coming with the trains, which is really nice. I was pretty happy then at that moment. And now I'm trying to add some pillars. Even though I was not happy with these ones, I just I plopped them closer after it. You can see them now, I guess. I was not satisfied. I've tried to download some other ones, but then I said this should be just fine. I like the fact that they are concrete. They're a bit dirty as well, and I said let's go with it. Nevertheless, let's call it. Nevertheless, I prefer to do most of what I can find in Paris and add some extra ideas from other cities. I know that for... What a dramatic song. I'm trying to... What was I saying? Oh yeah, about Paris. So for this transportation hub, I didn't take inspiration from any French cities. It was something that I want to do for a long time now, and I feel like it's the perfect place for it to do it, here next to this big train station. I hope you guys do find it pretty okay, and maybe even, let's call it something that you can find in France. I hope, because that's the idea of doing some French style cities. And here, these are the train platforms made by Titan. And if you use the procedure objects, the train tracks will disappear, and a few other little details. And then, as you can see now, I just rescaled it. I made it a little bit smaller in order to fit perfectly. I feel like these kind of platforms would have fit here really good. And also I've been adding these ones. These are some shelters, and also people can take the stairs down there. Maybe they can change the platform, or maybe they can get to the metro station from there. I leave you guys to imagine how this should work actually. Okay, now here I am back at the main entrance to the transportation hub, where from the main boulevard the buses and trams can go inside. I've added this custom road made by me here, and I added some other little things here and there in order to make it look really okay. So I don't know, my imagination, I guess. And nothing can go better without some really green areas. I will add here some trees, bushes, grass, and maybe some other stuff. I like to see nature in these type of areas where you can see like a big jungle of concrete, and then a little area, a little green area, not that very well maintained, but something to give it just a little tiny bit of life, I guess you can call it. Yeah. Also, I added here some crossing, even though this is not a crossing area. I will add an invisible pathway so people can really cross the street. I know there is a mode that allows you to do so, but I didn't want to go for that. Plus, there will not be like hundreds of buses, and people will be hit by, well, they're not going to be hit, but you know what I mean. Something like that. And I'm here adding some of the lamps with clocks made by Gare. Hopefully this time I pronounce his name correctly, because last time I said Geese and he said what? Okay, so he's from Jez. So Jez did those beautiful lamps with the clocks, and he helped me out with them in advance. Unfortunately, I haven't got a project for all of these cool stuff like benches, planters, lamps and whatnot, because I feel like those can fit a bit better in maybe a park, or maybe a place where you can find a monument, maybe like a museum, a palace and whatnot. So I'm trying to make a lower use of them. I don't want to go with too many, because again, I don't feel like they should be right ahead here. Okay, I think we are getting very close. Well, not that close. We are getting close, let's say, to the end of this this episode. Just few more minutes. The cinematics will also hit at the end. Don't forget to watch them, because you will see better everything that I've done today. Maybe some extra stuff, because for instance, in this little cinematic on the left side, you can see some other buildings. You don't see me plopping them, some of them, but I did so off camera, and you can see them a little bit better in the final cinematic. I feel like I have to add more stuff around this train station. If you look on Google Earth, there are a lot of stuff. I will be adding them little by little in the little trams, and hopefully we will get to have a nice Paris. As you guys said in many comments, Paris is not from France. I don't know that. It's not France anymore. Like, it's totally different from what you can see in the other city of France. But I tell you that I'm trying to do my very best. So maybe it's a better Paris, as you guys said. If I'm going to combine more cities, it will be the Paris that is never been, or something like that. Even though I can't take my take the credits for that. And at the end here, I'm adding the last details over the roads to make them look more realistic, like with dirt, with damaged decals, to make the concrete or the pavement be the concrete or the pavement or the asphalt look, let's say, not that perfect. They need some reparations and whatnot. But guys, I think this is it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, it is really most appreciated. And of course, comments are the perfect things to come with these feedbacks. You guys really give me some ideas, some new things. I have places where to look at, and if I make mistakes, also you guys can tell me that. But nevertheless, guys, see you next time. Take good care, and I salute you.